Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to 2026. This is going to be your January of 2026 all signs forecast. We're going to do a little bit of astrology, and then we're going to pull cards for each sign. And we're going to use this month the Morgan Greer Tarot, the Stained Glass Tarot, and we're going to pull a Beast Mistress Animal Oracle card and the Holy HAMSA card, and we're going to pull lots of love, lots of answers, lots of proverbs. So lots of divination coming your way. First off, I want to go and run over a little bit of the astrology for the month. I want to wish all the Capricorn and Aquarius born in January a very happy birthday, solar return. This is your new year, your personal new year. So here's what's going on, the big events. The 3rd, we're going to have a full moon in Cancer at 13 degrees of Cancer. On the 18th, we're going to have a new moon in Capricorn at 28 degrees of Capricorn. And then on the 19th, the sun is going to move from Capricorn into Aquarius, and Aquarius season starts. The 26th, we're going to have Neptune move into Aries for the next, 15 years or whatever. It went in a little bit last year and it came out again, but now it's going in for good, pretty much, for keeps, my guides are saying. So this is going to be a big shift in energy as well on the 26th. If you want more from me, I do have weekly astrology and tarot readings over on Patreon, and I have personal readings available over on my website. Now, I have I did say I would stop the New Year's year ahead as the 1st of the month, but people have gotten a hold of me and asked to extend it one more month because apparently some people who are in retirement, they don't get their check or their income till the 3rd or the 5th and different times, and it's delayed because of the holiday and different things. So I will do that. I will extend the year ahead readings for one more week, but basically it was a great season. Thanks to everybody who got theirs. I hope you enjoyed it. But if you head over to my website, there are other readings available. If you missed out, if you're not watching this in the first week of January and you missed out, it's okay. You can still get a reading from me. It just won't be the year ahead reading. And I do also have a year ahead astrology report, which is very affordable, and it's pretty interesting too. But anyways, if you enjoy my content, please do hit the like, subscribe, and hype button. I would be highly appreciated. It helps me, it helps the channel. And without further ado, let's jump into our sign-by-sign readings. Let's get these out of the way. With the first sign of Aries. All right, Aries, well, it is a big month for you, because that 26th, the Neptune is going to go into your sign. A personal reading we would definitely discuss, because chances are, especially if you're Aries sun, you probably have other placements in Aries too. You could have Aries Mercury, Venus, Mars, some of your personal planets. And, we could look at, when Neptune is actually going to hit it. Because just because it goes to 0 Aries doesn't mean that it's going to hit your planet necessarily. Unless you were born right then or you have a 0 Aries ascendant. But, it will at some point, and in early Aries will be hitting this year, or next year. We'll take a look at that. Neptune is dreamy, it's intuitive, it's creative. It's kind of a different energy from you, so it's a different kind of influx. But it definitely could be useful. The other thing it's like the downside of it, because there's the upside and downside to everything. So the upside is aspirational, transcending reality. And then the downside is escaping reality. And so that can be, not seeing things clearly. Sometimes it's escapism through overindulgence and like drug and alcohol. It could be you or other people you're dealing with. So these are just some of the big themes that may be coming into play here. But it's definitely a shift. Okay, let's go ahead and get our first 3 cards for our Aries for the month of January 2026. The first card we have is Justice, and I have to switch glasses because I don't have the strong glasses on to see all this little text on it much better. And second one we have is the Ace of Wands. And the third card we have is the 4 of Wands. Okay. Let's go ahead and get 3 more cards from the Morgan Greer for Aries Sun, Rising, Moon. I think I need to turn off the brighter light. Always a little bit of an adjustment for our Aries. Now you can see my hands in the shadow, but oh well. You can either have glare or shadow hands. Well, we're going to just go with this way. Okay, 3 cards for Aries. Sun, Rising, Moon, anybody with prominent Aries. King of Swords. He's been flying out of this deck. I was shuffling a little beforehand. And boy, was that King of Swords flying out of the deck. Okay. These two kind of look alike in this instance, don't they? They do to me. Move this over a little bit that way. I think that's a nice spot. Okay, so Justice, Ace of Wands, and Four of Wands. Many of you, if you're trying to, some of you are going to be moving. You know, that seems really likely. Okay, Justice usually does have to do with legal matters, things of this nature, and Ace of Wands is a seed that you're planted. This looks really weird with the shadow hands, doesn't it? We're going to have to figure something else out. We'll just come down here. That's better, right? Yes. So. Oh, you guys, you get the first reading, but there's always a little bit of minor adjustments with Aries, okay? Ace of Wands, so this is you're planting these seeds, and you know, new beginnings. Neptune's, you're going to plant. You're planting with Neptune, you're planting the seeds in fertile soil, my guides are saying, because Neptune is water. You know, so it's you need to water those things. And then Four of Wands, some of you, if you're trying to buy a house, you could, you know, get the loan. You could, you know, Justices, you get the loan, you get the contract, you know, the lease, and you're moving to the new place. The changes in your home environment are going to be really happy, and don't worry about it so much. It looks like it's going to go really smooth, especially when you have Chariot and Four of Wands. Some of you maybe are going to be getting, you know, buying a house with somebody, like moving in with somebody in a romantic situation, or maybe even a wedding. And then this could be some kind of, you know, maybe you're moving to their place or they're moving to yours. Some of you, it could be relocating too. Like maybe you've met someone, Aquarius energy here. Maybe you've met someone over the internet or something like that. And, you know, you've been communicating that way. And you're going to make the big move to go be with them, or they're going to make the big move to be with you. Or maybe you're making a big move and there's somebody there waiting for you that you don't even know about yet. You know, that could be too. It's interesting, though, too, Justice, and then this particular card, the sword points down, it's a pointer, so I'm looking, what does it point at? And it points to him, and it points back up. And often, the King of Swords can be legal. Law, legal, lawyers, you know, so this could be even just a lawyer or something. But, you know, travel is favored, movement is favored, success is favored. The only thing is getting in your head. Now, that's another thing that Neptune can do. It can put things in your head. You can get too much, you know, illusions. You don't see things quite clearly. You know, you're kind of in your head and dreaming up all kinds of, well, you're dreaming up all kinds of things one way or the other, all right? So are you dreaming up, you know, something wonderful for yourself, this happiness and stuff over here? Or are you dreaming up some, you know, disaster or something? So, you know, just be, you know, where you're directing the energy, because Neptune is a powerful wielder of energy and creativity. And creativity is not just creative arts and things like that. Creativity, you're creating every day. You know, we create our life, everything every day. All right, let's go ahead and get your animal totem for Aries. The owl. Now, owl is definitely wisdom. That's another thing that the Neptune energy can bring in for you, because often, too, you know, Aries, you're known for being, you know, very impulsive. Oh, the other thing that came to me, and I forgot to mention before we move on to owl. With the Justice card, now Saturn is still in Pisces, but it's getting ready to move into your sign. That'll be next month. And Saturn is the Lord of the Karma, and this can be a big ending of a karmic cycle. And so you may be ending a big karmic cycle. I think everyone is, but particularly you, because after Saturn moves out of Pisces, it's going to come into your sign also next month. But let's look at the owl here. Silent flyer of the night, occult messenger of the spirit realm, transmutation through expansive vision, clearing of obstacles at a miraculous rate. Yeah. Stop worrying about it, because things could just, you know, that Neptune could come in and just wash all your troubles away. That's the way. You know, the other thing, though, with Neptune, there is this energy of, you know, the water. So watch out for water stuff. You know, like I had a big Neptune aspect on my water heater when I had to get a new water heater. You know, stuff like that. Plumbing, flooding. You know, be wary of those types of things. But don't get too over worried about it. All right, let's get our Holy HAMSA card for Aries. We have health. Okay, that's card number 21. This is a deck that I created, as is the animal totem, by the way. And the lots that we're going to pull, too. Those are also divination tools that I've created. And you can, if you're interested in working with any of these, you can look at the links below. If you want, if you're on a device where you can pause and look at the background words, you may want to do that. You could get a message there. Health says fitness. Well, I'm reading my own words because I wrote the book, okay? I'm not just reading from a book. I'm reading from the book I wrote. Fitness, wellness, medicine. It is often said that your wealth is in your health. In our modern day, our health often gets overlooked or put on the back burner. The card is a reminder to look after yourself. Check in on yourself. Are you getting enough exercise, rest? What about your diet? This is a good time to schedule a checkup. In some cases, this card may indicate a career in the medical field, whether it's a health practitioner, pharmaceutical industry, or other health and fitness related vocations. Okay. Well, let's go through and get our lots. We're going to pull lots of love, which may or may not pertain to love. These are also my own design. And what the lots, I mean, I put them out here in these readings for everybody just to kind of show you what they're about. But these are really fun to just play with on your own. You know, just sit around and ask a question and pull a lot. But this is for Aries for January of 20. Encounter. Ooh, an encounter. This is falling out. I lost my other G clef ring. And I have this one. This one isn't as nice. The other one was bejeweled. But this one wants to fall off too. Maybe I should just put it on another finger. Yeah, there we go. It's a little too tight. There. That's better. Okay. So some sort of an encounter. Maybe while traveling for some. Next we're going to look at the lots of answers. Again, these are fun to play with on your own. Oh, there's a lots of proverb in there. We'll use this one. Be yourself because everyone else is taken. Yeah. And then the lots of answer. Someday. Someday we'll be together. Yes, we will. All right, someday. Well, maybe this could be that someday. Maybe this is the someday with Neptune that dreams are really coming true. Whatever the case, Aries, I hope you have a wonderful new year and a new January. I did do a year ahead reading on the Rock and Roll Prophetess channel if you want to check that out. Also, again, I do have private readings. If you're watching this after the first week in January, then the year ahead tarot readings are no longer available. But there's other readings, and there's a great astrology reading that's very affordable too. I want you to make sure you have a great one. That Neptune, read up on it on your own. You know, spend some time reading about the Neptune energy, and then you can kind of feel as to how it may or may not, you know, how to work with it for more favorable results. That's what my guides are saying. Work with that energy for more favorable results. Okay, next we're going to take a look at the sign of Taurus. Hello Taurus, this is going to be your January of 2026 monthly reading. First Taurus, Sun, Rising, Moon. Anybody who has prominent Taurus in their chart in any way, or cross watchers, whatever the case might be. We're going to do 6 cards of tarot, followed up by some oracle cards. And let's see what's going on for you. 1, 2, 3 cuts. We've got the 8 of Wands, the Knight of Swords, and the 8 of Pentacles. Get out of the way. And we're going to pull 3 more cards from our Hanson Roberts deck. For Taurus, Sun, Rising, Moon, anybody with Taurus in their chart, for whatever reason that you're watching Taurus, this is for you. Okay, Ace of Wands, Knight of Rods. Okay, I thought we had the same knight. We got, and then the Lovers. Well, I'll tell ya, relationships are going to be in the forefront, it seems like. A lot of relationships. You've got a lot of people here. None of them are, well, not a lot, a couple people here. And they're not you. Knight of Swords. This could be an air sign person, an Aquarius, a Gemini, or Libra. Or it could be in the time of Aquarius. Now we will be, or the time of air, which is Aquarius. We will be moving into Aquarius after the 19th. So that could be the time frames. We also have a Knight of Wands, or Knight of Fire. This is the fire signs, which are Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. This person, there's definitely feels like some definite romantic overtones going on. Passion. There's passion between the two of you. because the Ace of Wands can also be a phallic symbol. This is really, really not, I wouldn't say vulgar. I mean, I don't think of it as vulgar, but, you know, cover your ears if you're easily offended. But the way this is showing up to me, it's never shown up to me like this before, because the Eight of Wands, it's like you've had other lovers in the past. You've had other people. These are all, we'll just say these are the people, okay? These are all the other people that you've had before, and maybe the Knight of Swords. Maybe the Knight of Swords even kind of left you feeling, you know, I'm hearing like hurt and betrayed. But, you know, the Knight of Swords can be, you know, they've got their sword drawn. They can be very cutting. So maybe you've been burned or cut before, and then you throw yourself into your work or something like that, you know. Or this could even be at work. But nobody has been like this. This is singular. This is bigger, more. Like you can barely see it. Look at how you can see this one. This is in the forefront. This is this person, you know. And they are in love with you. They care for you deeply on whatever level. I mean, I guess this could be, it could be, you know, because it got the Eight of Pentacles in here. It could be work related or, you know, but this really seems like it's a big time love reading for many. Sexual, madly in love, sexual energy. Maybe you meet them while working. That could be too. Maybe this, I do feel like this other person on whatever level, whether it was a personal relationship or a work co-worker or whatever, I do feel like they tried to sabotage your work even. You know, they tried to hold you back, sabotage you. I'm getting that really strong. But something's going to, Eight of Wands, something's going to show up really quickly. And it's like no other. It's like nothing you've seen or had before, okay? And it's this Knight of Rods. So fire sign energy perhaps, Leo, Aries, Sag. But definitely, you know, a passionate connection on whatever level. Lovers is here, so for many, sure, it's going to be sexual. But it might not be. Maybe it's going to be you're passionate about the work that you're doing, you know, and you're both madly in love with the work. I mean, we could put it that way, but really it looks like, you know, and if this doesn't resonate, because I know a lot of my people don't really, you know, aren't here for a love reading all the time, you know. They want more serious business, it seems like. But whatever the case, you know, there's somebody very impassioned and is going to really light up and enliven your life. Okay, let's get our animal totem for our Taurus friends. We got the spider, that's destiny. Spider is fate and destiny. Weaver of fate, creator of life, patient builder of sacred geometry, transcending time and space, all are joined in the wheel of life. Yeah, and it's like the Wheel of Fortune. You know, the spider is almost like, you could call it, you know, if you know tarot, it's very similar to Wheel of Fortune. It's also words and writing and communicating, and so is the Eight of Wands. And so maybe there's going to be some communication that has to ties into all of this for you. Let's go ahead and get our not lots of love, our holy HAMSA. Pets. Oh, so maybe you fall in love with a pet. Or maybe that's, if it's a love thing, maybe that's how you meet them. At the dog park or at PetSmart or wherever, you know, or the veterinarian's office or something like that. Maybe this guy's your veterinarian. Sagittarius could be a veterinarian. Well, Sagittarius are animal. It's funny I just jumped right to Sagittarius. Sagittarius is our animal lovers. But all the fire signs, Leos love animals too. Okay, pets. If you want to look at this and see some of the background words, and it may just be not necessarily just the energy of the pet energy, like the happiness and joy and all this. So let's read it. Critter, familiar, fur baby, unconditional love, loyal and true. Well, that's what's coming off of him too. Or they, whoever. It doesn't have to be a male energy necessarily. Our animal companions can be tremendous comfort on our earth walk. Their capacity for unconditional love and support is unmatched by any in the human form. For that reason and many others, they may be our greatest teachers as well as friends. Indigenous people from all over the world look to the animal kingdom for signs, omens, and messages. Many times our pets are in tune with the subtle energies beyond what can be sensed from a human perspective. Take time to appreciate all the creatures of the animal kingdom, whether domesticated or living in the wild. They have much to teach us. Well, that is so true. Okay, let's go ahead and get the lots of love, whether it pertains to love or not. Okay, let's see here. Natural. Yeah, it feels natural. Again, on whatever level, but you and this person, it feels natural and it feels right. You get along, you walk together easily. There's no struggle. Okay, lots of answers. It says uncertain. And then finally, lots of proverbs for Taurus. It says jealousy is the green-eyed monster. Yeah. Well, this could be you feeling uncertain, maybe because of what you went through in the past here with this sword character up here. But, you know, this person they're bringing in this energy, okay? This stuff, don't let this jealousy is, you know, that's insecurity. That's really what jealousy is, okay? And you have nothing to worry about, again, on whatever level. Don't let past betrayals taint what's going on here. Tainted love, oh, 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 tainted love. If you've never seen my videos, Taurus, I do tend to break out in song because my guides send me songs all the time. So just that's how we roll around here. But other than that, I hope you have a great month ahead and a great year ahead. I do have the year ahead reading over on my website, my Rock and Roll Prophetess channel, and I'm still available for regular readings if you're watching this after the first week of January and aren't able to get your year ahead reading. So that's all on my website. Don't be fooled by imposters. I won't be messaging on social media. Okay, next thing we're going to do is Gemini, next sign. Okay, there's Gemini. This is going to be for Gemini Sun, Rising, Moon. Anybody who has prominent Gemini in their chart or cross watchers, whatever the case may be. Let's get 3 cards for our Geminis for the January 2026. I like that numerology, 2-6, hangman. I don't put the cards in reverse, but sometimes I will read, you know, like that last reading, if you didn't see, the Knight of Swords, I was getting vibes off of him that were negative. I don't want to be forced into, okay, well, it's this way, then it's, you know, positive, negative, because I'm past all this. I wrote a book on tarot, okay? I'm past going by the book, you know. It's a psychic thing, you know. It's however it strikes me in that particular moment, and whatever message my guides are bringing through with the cards. Upright, reverse, doesn't matter. It's not rigid like that, okay? Oops, 1 flew out. 2 flew out. Oh, it's Lovers again. Look at you, Gemini. And then we're going to get 1 more card. We'll take the top card. How's that? King of Cups. Well, here again, this is so interesting because it's very much like the other reading, because we have 2 different people and the Lovers. So there's 2 court cards and the Lovers. One of them is the love interest, you know. Well, let's start at the beginning. 10 of Wands. You've been carrying this heavy load, and it's time to back off a little with the Hangman. The Hangman is pause, reflection, stopping, pausing, communing with Spirit. Star is here, so you're getting the blessing. Star is wanting to bring in blessings. They're sending you messages. They're sending you blessings, enlightenment, all these good things. They're sending you a person. I think some of you are going to have 2 people to choose between. Because the Lovers is down here. You're definitely, maybe you've been, you know, just working a lot and not even worried about love relationship. And then look at here, we've got the Lovers, okay, but there's a king on one side and a king on another. Now, even if, you know, this doesn't mean that, you know, it's necessary, it'd be whatever you're into, okay? Doesn't necessarily have to be a male energy. But what I like about is that you have 2 kings to choose from. And as far as just, you know, gender aside, the kings are the most mature, the most evolved. You know, we could take the gender completely out of it. They go from the page to the knight to the queen to the king. And this is levels of growth, expertise, maturity, you know, further along on your path. So you're not dealing with anybody here who is childish, juvenile, unevolved, you know, players, nothing like that. You've got 2 kings to choose from, okay? It looks like the one king this is the way it's playing out. This is what I feel about it, because this king is lined up with the Ten of Wands, and the King of Pentacles. They're real good about their money, you know, and the King of Pentacles, he's very much in a financial, you know, he's financially accomplished there. He's got his money to act together, right? So this one, you may be looking at it as, you know, I've been working so hard, it'd be nice if somebody could help me out. You know, I don't have to pay all the bills, or, you know, if you're somebody that would want to be taken care of, and I've never been that way, but, you know, maybe this person would take care of you. What comes to mind, I just watched this movie again recently. I like the 1990s version with Winona Ryder, The Little Women. I just watched it over the holidays here again, and the little girl Amy, she says, you know, it's just as easy to fall in love with a pauper as I always knew I would never marry a pauper. It's just something like that. She says it more than one time during the course of the book. I read the books when I was little, you know. So I think that's the very best version anyway. If you love that movie too, or that book, you have to let me know in the comments. But I really love that version. Because, well, the last one that just came out was, you know, beautiful, cinematically beautiful. And it was so authentic, it seemed to be, with all the, you know, everything. But the thing was, when they tell these stories out of sequence, it's just, to me, I know it's artistic and it's creative, but it's, you know, just plain and simple, it's hard to follow. And, like, of course I knew the story, and a lot of people knew the story, but when I went to see that movie, I was with somebody that had never read the books or was unfamiliar with it, and they didn't get it. I had to explain a whole bunch of stuff to them. It's like, no, she was this and that happened. So I never really watched it again. It's disjointed. I know it's kind of a fad like lately, and I just don't like it. There was just another one the other day that I watched on Life of Somebody, Life of Charlie or something, and they did that same thing. They told it in backwards order, and like, Benjamin Button was cool because it was, even though he was aging backwards, it was still the sequence of his life. You know, you could follow the story. You know, this jumping around stuff, I know I'm getting way off topic, sorry, but how did I even get on that? Oh, we were talking about Amy, and you can just as easily choose a pauper. So this person, I mean, you could love either. This is what it looks like. You could love either. This person maybe make your life more financially, but this person brings the magic with the star and the cups. They're the dreamer. They're the romantic. They make you feel really, really loved. But maybe, what's your love language? Maybe being provided for and being protected maybe that makes you feel really loved. You know, so you've got some thinking to do here, Gemini, because whoosh, they're both coming towards you. And what's interesting too is that maybe if it has been a while since you've had a relationship, you know, Gemini, Uranus is coming into your sign, so all bets are off. You know, it's not this month, but it's coming, and so all bets are off. So anything that, you know, everything could be changing. Your whole life could be turned upside down for sure. And after all, you are Gemini. You are the partnership sign. You are the twins. You're the only one with the two people on. You know, so you're very partner oriented usually. Well, let's get your animal totem. Okay, this is for Gemini. Sun, rising, moon for the month of, you got cheetah. That's similar. You can have lots of choices there. Lots of choices, okay? Empath, healer, prolific creator. Things happening at lightning speed. Staying alert to synchronistic signs. The path of the soul practitioner. Yeah, the path of the soul practitioner may have been who you've been leading up to this, right? But also that it's abundance. You know, that prolific creator, you know, there's many choices with the cheetah card. It's very much a abundance card. Many choices. Many things to choose from. Many options. Okay, let's get the Holy HAMSA card for Geminis. Got the trickster. Okay. Well, trickster can mean that there's been foul play. Maybe that's why you kind of backed off for a while. You know, trickster is not a fun energy. But, you know, Gemini, you have the positive. You have the positive. If there were a positive. This card is not really meant to be a negative and positive. It's pretty much be wary of the trickster, you know. Dun, dun, dun. But you know, you have that trickster energy in the best kind of way. You know, you've got that sparkly little trickster, you know, that sparkly eyes and mind energy. You know, you have that trickster in like a little imp, like a little, you know, you can be that way. But this is not necessarily that way. But the reason I'm bringing it up, though, is because you play with that trickster energy anyway. You know, you can recognize it and you can spot it and you can see it in others, okay? All right. Trickster, deceit, fraud, treachery. All is not what it seems. Be wary of who you trust. The trickster card is warning you that someone may be deceiving you. Tread lightly and stay aware of the subtle clues that something may be amiss. The trickster is very sly and cunning, but not as sly as you, Gemini. And just, that's what I was saying, you know, you got that cunning stuff. You got that hands down. And knows just what to say to lure you into their trap. Trust your gut instincts when you feel that something is not quite right. Chances are your intuition and inner knowing are trying to alert you to their ruse. Well, I mean, like I said, the rest of the reading isn't really showing that. I kind of feel like this could be residuals from another relationship. Did I not do this yet? Okay, let's get the, let's pull a lots of love first, which may or may not pertain to love. Alrighty, let's see here. We have sweet. I heard, you're so sweet, and innocent, but you're just, oh, something to me, yep. I think that's the Osmond Brothers. It's one of those teeny bopper bands from back in the day. I think it's the Osmond, but you're so sweet and innocent. Well, love is blind. Well, and look at how love is blind shows up right under this thing. Right under this whole thing here. Well, it could be love is blind, like don't beat yourself up too bad if you've been tricked. I don't get the trickster energy coming off them. I get sincerity and, you know, really good heart coming off of them. Especially because they're aligned with the star. Star's bringing in the blessings. Star's not bringing, well, I guess star can bring in the tricksters and whatnot if you have lessons to learn. But, so, you know, it's a pretty sweet choice there. But love is blind, you know, love, maybe that's like a advice saying, follow your heart. You know, don't overthink it, because that's a tendency that you have too, Gemini. You can overthink things sometimes. Love is blind, love goes where the heart wants, you know. That's what love is. So boy, we're getting a lot of these romance readings this month for everybody. Well, I hope that works out good for everyone. Don't forget to check your rising and moon. If you want a personal reading for me, if it's the first week of January, you may still be able to get in on that year ahead personal card reading. I do have the astrology reading still available, but there's other readings on my website, vickieverlie.com. Don't be fooled by imposters. I won't message you on social media. Those are imposters if you don't know what I'm talking about. And it's not just me, everybody. Don't listen to that stuff. They're fakes. Quick drink of water. Also think I want to clear the energy a little. And next we're going to move on to the sign of Cancer. Well, Cancer, it's your full. We're kicking off the month with the full moon in your sign. So that's really powerful. You get the one new moon and the one full moon every year, right? And this full moon it's gonna relate back to the time of your birthday or the mid-year solstice. You know, what intentions did you set at that time? You may be achieving them now. They may be coming to fruition at this time as of this full moon on the 3rd. They also, though, it could be that you're having an awareness. The full moon shines the light, gives you the awareness. So it could be that you're having an awareness of, oh, okay, I set these intentions. This is what I need to change. This is what I need to work out. These are the different things that I need to go over and work out. And you know, you still do have Jupiter in your sign for the first half of the year. So you've got that good luck and abundance. You've got that lucky mojo working for you. You've got your mojo working. Work that mojo, Cancer. All right. Here's our first 3 cards for January for our Cancer Sun, Rising, Moon. We have the Strength card, followed by the Sun. Here comes the Sun. Well, and then the death card. Death is just a big change. Nothing, no reason to get freaked out. Next, we're going to move on. Not going to move on to another sign. We're going to get another shuffle. There. Sorry, I had a little bit of stomach stuff going on. So we're going to pull 3 more cards for Cancer, Sun, Rising, Moon. We got 8 of Pentacles, followed by 10 of Wands, followed by Knight of Pentacles. Okay. Well, some of you are going to be able to make the big change that you've been wanting to make. That's what it is. I mean, we've got the Death card. That is a big change, okay? That is a big change. And the full moon can do that. You know, the full moon can be like, well, I finished that chapter. I'm done with that. It's time to move back on. The Sun is here, which is you notice this whole top row, by the way, is all major arcana, first of all. So that says that higher forces are at work. You're being guided, you're being led, your destiny, you know, your fate is in, the fates have you, or whatever. Now, but the Sun is, you know, being joyous and all these kinds of things. Now, the full moon is, the Sun is involved in the full moon. The full moon is when the Sun and moon are exactly in opposition. So the full moon. And here's another thing with you, Cancer. You're ruled by the moon. So you really, more than probably a lot of the other signs, will feel, you'll feel these new and full moons much stronger than some of the other signs. Okay, you have strength. So it feels like something you've been really holding out for. You've been really working hard for. We're showing the work down here. You've been working away. And then you have the 10 of Wands. So this is like something's coming to conclusion, coming to the end. It's a 10 of this hard work. You know, they both are showing this hard work. And the full moon, you know, it could be as soon as that, right away. You know, it could be right away at that full moon and on the 3rd. And something, a big change is coming. Death, you're done with that. 10, you're done. You've reached the 10. You've been working hard and hanging in there, and now here comes the opportunity. And this Knight of Pentacles, this could be the person presenting the opportunity for sure, but it also can be timing. And it's the time of Earth. Now we're going to be in the time of Earth or the time of Capricorn for the first 3 weeks until, and then we're going to have a new moon in Capricorn too. It could be talking about that as well on the 18th, and then the very next day Capricorn's done. So could be before this transition, this 18th, 19th transition here. You know, and I was just looking up, yeah, this is card 19, so it might even be on the 19th. But before that time frame, I want to say, is the end of this cycle and the new beginning happens. For many, this looks more financial, because this is money and this is money, right? But the new situation with the Sun, this is like you're really shining, you're really the star of the show. There could be, the Sun rules Leo, and there's a lion on this card as well. So for some, this could tie in with some kind of Leo energy. Excuse me, I have to get a drink of water, sorry. It could be the time of Leo back in August. It could be a person who is a Leo. You know, so it could be somebody that you know that is a Leo, that's been part of your life or your situation. So keep that in mind. That's going to be there for some people. All right, let's move over to get our animal totem for our Cancer friends, Sun, Rising, Moon, anybody who has prominent Cancer in their chart for the January 2026. Hummingbird. Hummingbirds are really high vibe and energy. Hummingbirds usually love related too. All these cards with love this month. Okay. Love abounding, laughter, joy. Elevated by vibrations bring glimpses of magic. The fairy folk surely dance nearby. Savor the sweet bouquet and taste the nectar of life. Well, there you go. It's just being joyous, you know, and the Sun energy is being joyous also. So there's going to be, my guides are saying, rejoice. Rejoice, rejoice, we have no choice but to carry on. I'm on a key really bad on that one. Woo! Oh, I was going to do the lots before I did our Holy HAMSA to finish out the card portion of the reading. Okay, Holy HAMSA for our Cancer, Sun, Rising, Moon. Rejoice, rejoice, We have no choice but to carry on. I can't catch that last part. Alright, this is for Cancer, Sun, Rising, Moon. What do we got? We got cleanse. Well, the full moon is a good time to cleanse. That's another thing I didn't mention. Not necessarily on the full moon. That's more of the culmination and everything. But after the full moon, when the moon is waning, between the 3rd and the 18th, as the moon is waning, especially because it's starting out on your sign, it's a good time to do all this releasing. That's the death card would tie into that as well. Release, you get rid of all that stuff. If you want to zoom in, and if you're on a device where you can zoom in and look at some of the background words and see what grabs your attention, then absolutely you can do that. Cleanse, clear, smudge, unburden. Purge yourself of excess clutter. See your way clear. The cleanse card is calling you to clear away the litter in your life on all levels, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. When you remove all extraneous toxins that have been polluting your environment, you are making space for new things to come into your life. This may be a good time to do a thorough cleaning of your environment. The burning of sage, the use of salt, and even sound can be used to further clear your field. Isn't that funny? I did the clearing, I did the bell clearing before your sign. I haven't been doing it every sign, but I definitely felt that urge to do that bell clearing. Before I started, I did that, bell thing, and here you get it in the card too. So it's confirmation, right? Cleaning of the burning of sage, salt, even sound can be used to further cleanse your field. These type of ceremonies may be more powerful when performed on the full moon or right after. Yeah, it's right there in the description. Okay, let's go ahead and get the lots of love, which may or may not pertain to love, for our Cancer friends. It says pause. Okay. All right, pause. Take it as it resonates. Next, the lots of answer. It says no. Again, take it as it resonates. I'm really kind of showcasing these. These are fun to play with on your own if you're not familiar. You can just ask a question and pull out the answer. And then the last of proverb, lastly. It says, what comes around goes around. Yeah. Well, it's like being unburdened at this time. And if anybody was screwing with you or did you wrong or made your life harder or whatever the case, it's not up to you to get back at them, Get back to where you once belonged. Get back, JoJo. Get back, JoJo. So maybe somebody's dealing with a JoJo. Oh, isn't there a Loretta in there too? Get back, Loretta. Or Loretta. If that resonates, definitely leave in the comments. It's funny how the guides come through with these messages, but not for you to worry. Embrace this beautiful, clear out the way, let the hummingbird energy in, the sun energy in, open the window, let the sun in, clear out, get yourself out in the sun this time of year in the northern hemisphere. We're just coming off the solstice, the darkest night of the year, and people get the, whatever that's called. I keep wanting to say fixation. But, when you don't get enough sun, it's a whole thing. It's a syndrome, and because you need to get out in that sun and let that light shine, and it's a new day. New things are beginning. You've got the beautiful blessing of the Jupiter in your sign for 6 more months, so it's not going to be back for 12 years after this. So any big moves you want to make and things you want to do, you've got beautiful blessings backing you up. The universe has got your back, Cancer. Okay? All right, if you want to get a hold of me for readings or whatever the case, you've got to go through my website. Please don't succumb to these social media people with the messages. Those aren't me or anybody else. They're imposters and it's rampant, so just be wary. I don't want you to get taken in by these, these charlatans, my guides are saying. I was going to say frauds, but my guides said charlatans. If you didn't, by the way, Cancer, if you want to get that year ahead and you're watching this right away in the first week, you still have 1 week, but then that's it. But there's other readings. All right, hey Leo, what's going on for you for the upcoming year and the month of January for our Leo friends? One thing for the year is Jupiter's going to be in your sign the second half of the year, but you might want to tune into the year ahead reading for that, or order one for yourself, because we can really dive in and see exactly when and where those Jupiters are hitting on not only your sun but other personal planets in your chart, and the South Node too. That's big stuff too. Okay, But right now we're going to do the tarot reading for January for Leo, Sun, Rising, Moon. We got our shuffling done. Let's see what cards want to turn out here. We've got the Four of Cups, the Seven of Cups, and the Six of Pentacles. Okay. Move these out of the way, and we're going to get 3 more cards for our Leo, Sun, Rising, Moon. Anybody with prominent Leo in their chart. 1, 2, 3. We have Ace of Cups. Boy, the cups are really out for you today, aren't they? Well, for everybody. Oh, double Six of Pentacles. All right, double. I might have said Six of Cups, but that's actually the Six of Pentacles. You got double Six of Pentacles. So that's whenever you get the double of the same card from 2 different decks, that really is, you know, that's the bigger message that wants to come through. So the Six of Pentacles, that's all about getting paid. That's getting rewarded, getting paid, getting that money, that endowment. And it looks like from the Seven of Cups, Ace of Cups, this is something that you're doing that brings you a lot of joy. It may be something that you're doing that's creative, but it really makes your heart happy. It makes you happy. It's really coming from the soul or coming from the heart. These are the kind of things that are going to be, if you're not sure which way to go, because sometimes the Four of Cups is like, well, I've got all these options, I'm just not sure which one I want to pursue. The one that lights you up, the one that Ace of Cups you, that gets you in the heart center. The Seven of Cups, the one that you can dream and visualize and see something coming from it. This could also be, maybe you already know what all that stuff is, because Leo, you're tuned into your heart. You're ruled by the heart chakra, you know. So maybe you already know and you've been working on it. But then maybe these are, you know, it looks like there could be cooperation from others here, right? And maybe, you know, you've been trying to get it sold or get a job in that field, and, you know, none of them have really turned up the way you wanted. You know, you've tried multiple attempts, and it's just like, well, nothing's, or the ones that are coming forward are just kind of, you know, not really doing it for you. It's not fulfilling that true dream that you really have. Well, this could be the time when the true dream really happens. And it looks like it could come through the Queen of Swords. So no gender, so it could be anybody. But in general, the Swords people are the air sign people, which is the Aquarius, the Geminis, or the Libras. Now, we will be in air sign season this month, as after the 19th, when the Sun moves into Aquarius. So from the 19th going forward, we will be in air sign season. So that could be the time frame. It's interesting because sometimes the Swords people also do tie into legal, law, those types of situations. And what's grabbing me on this Six of Pentacles on this particular deck is he's got the scale. It's the scales for money, but it really struck me as the scales of justice, you know. So for some of you, there could be some kind of a legal thing. Maybe you've been submitting your book to publishers, or, you know, you're wanting to get signed up for something. You want to get signed up for some sort of legal thing here that's going to require some sort of legal contract that's going to be signed. Also bringing in some money here. You know, it might be, for some, it could be a sale of a big item too, like maybe a house or a car, or, you know, some kind of a thing that is a big ticket item where there would be legal papers being signed. Or going, you know, just entering into some kind of a legal agreement with somebody that's you want. You want this. Seven of Cups, you've been dreaming of this, okay? This isn't negative. You know, this is very, very positive and favorable. And it's going to further your cup exploration, your heartfelt exploration, your creative exploration. Whatever this money is going to, maybe it's a really creative job. Maybe you've been, you know, building your portfolio. It could be, it's going to be different for everyone. You need a private reading to really dive into what it might be, but it looks wonderful. Let's go ahead and get the animal totem to go along with our Leos for January. The firefly, yeah, this is the right thing. That's the right thing, okay? The thing with the fireflies is, which I never knew, are lightning bugs, so I started researching when I made this deck. Those lights are not random. They vibrate at a specific pattern to attract that right. Usually it's for mating, so it could be a mating thing, you know, partnering up. But really, it's like finding that thing that's just right for you, you know, that fits perfect for you. Because your higher self, your guides, your angels, they know what it is. You know, there is something, okay? Fairy lights sparkling in the twilight sky, each array a unique signature, the call of a soulmate. Your individual waveform attracts a vibrational match. There, let's read that again. Your individual waveform attracts a vibrational match. And this person and this situation is going to be just that for you. It's going to be your vibrational match, okay? All right, and these other things, they just weren't the right thing for you, perhaps, you know? All right. Let's jump over and we're going to pull a Holy HAMSA card from my Oracle deck, my indie deck. All of my decks are indie decks, and you can find the links in the description below. Okay, if this one wants to come, I have Purge. So Purge is like releasing, letting go. It's card number 49. If you want to, if you can get it to come in and you're on a device where you can pause the video and zoom in, you may want to do so and look at some of the background words. By the way, if you want to work with this deck, they're very visible. I know it's just sometimes the camera doesn't pick it up all that well. So there's that. Okay, 49, Purge. Adapt, evolve, cycles. We all change and grow as we progress along our soul path. The snake sheds its skin, the bird its feathers, the flower its petals, the butterfly its cocoon. None mourn the loss of what was. All are immersed in the cycle of transformation. Life is not stagnant. We are not meant to stay in one place for our entire existence. The time has come to purge the old so that the new can be born. Perhaps you will need a time of isolation while going through this metamorphosis. When the time is right, you will emerge revived and ready to test your newly found wings. You know, that can be this 4 of Cups and 7 of Cups to some degree also, of just kind of being more in, you know, the dream world, more in visualizing, creating. You know, anybody who's creative knows you need quiet time alone in order to do it, you know. Well, I know I do. You know, I know I need quiet time alone in order to do my creative work. Okay, let's get the lots of love, which may pertain to love or not. Rebel. It could be rebel or rebel. You know, whatever fits the case here. But I think it's more you guys are rebels. Many Leos are rebels. Okay, let's go ahead and get the last truly. So it's a yes. This is a true. It's real. So it's if it's like, oh, this can't be real, it is real. Okay, don't just discount it, because sometimes what we're dreaming of, and we think, but we really in the back of our mind we think, oh, but it never could happen, and then it happens, and we're like, holy shit, you know. Okay, let's get the last one. Lots of proverb, and there's a piece of string in there. Make hay while the sun shines. Yeah, make hay while the sun shines. Whatever this time frame is affording you. Is it affording you quiet time alone? Is it affording you a new financial opportunity? Whatever it is, when it's presenting itself, that's when you go for it. Okay? All right, Leos, well, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed your reading or it made sense to you. If not, check your rising or moon, or if you want to get a personal reading, you can head over to my website. If you're watching this in the very first week of January, I've extended the year ahead just to the first week of January. I mean, that's really going to be it. But there's other readings available. Also, if you don't want to get the year ahead card reading, there is a wonderful year ahead astrology report. That's only $22, and it covers every single astrology aspect and explains it for the entire year. So that might be something that would interest some of you. But without further ado, have a great year. Happy New Year, Leo, and a great January. And next we're going to move on to the sign of Virgo. Hello, Virgo, sun, rising, moon. Anybody who has prominent Virgo in their chart. This is going to be your January 2026 Psychic Tarot reading for the collective. Let's see what we got for January 2026 for Virgo. 2 of Wands, 2 of Swords, and 7 of Cups. Double 2s there. 2s usually are kind of more about partnership, but I'll fix, I see that the cards are screwed up. I'll fix them all at once. Let's see here. 3 more cards for Virgo, Sun, Rising, Moon. We have the Temperance card, the 3 of Cups, And your Ten of Cups. Wow, look at this. Well, it's a nice card you have here, Virgo. Well, like I said, Two of Wands, Two of Swords, usually these are more partnership oriented. And even the Temperance is co-creating with your spirit guides and angels. But to some extent, there's the Two Cups on here. It's putting together two things into one. Maybe it's you and your spirit guide, maybe it's you and your partner, maybe it's your spirit guide or angel, arranging for you to meet up with a partner, which I think could be highly likely in January. If you are going to especially maybe attend a wedding, some of you may be getting married, but if you're going to invited to attend a wedding, or it's not any kind of gathering really, where people are gathered together, well, first of all, it's going to be a good time. Definitely do it. Sometimes in the winter, well, in the Northern Hemisphere it's winter, but a lot of times people are just like, ugh, after Christmas and all all this money I spent and this and that, I don't feel like going anywhere or doing anything. And so, but if there's this particular event, you may want to attend it because it looks like it's going to be, number one, a great time. You're going to have a great fun. You might meet a partner on whatever level. If it's I feel like for some it's sort of a common interest thing. Like whatever, it could be astrology conference kind of a thing, but what they're showing me is like they have the home and garden shows, or what I just see a commercial for the RV show, or these different things, or Comic-Con, or those kinds of, where a group of people are all there because they have this common interest. That you could meet some cool people and some new friends even, or long-term partnerships could arise from that. Could even be business partnerships, too, but it feels more friendship, heart connections, maybe a love interest too. Two of Swords, if you're trying to decide, should I go or should I not go, definitely go. Seven of Cups, dreams are coming true. Dreams could be coming true at this time. Setting your intentions and looking to your future and working with your guides and angels to co-create are going to bring about the right people, the right places, the right time, place, people. All these sorts of things are going to be coming into play. Neptune is moving out of your house of others. Even if you're Virgo, whatever, if you're not Virgo rising, the opposite sign is still your house of others. It's the opposite sign to you. It's not you, it's the other person, right? So there could be, that's going to clear the way. It's going to clear the fog that may have been present, or whatever it might have been, lift the veil. That's going to allow for you to meet and be with new people that you really jive with, that you really get along with, that again, this common interest thing keeps coming up. So I'm picking up, like, you have this common interest. Because lots of people, you maybe live in a town or a place, I mean, nowadays with the internet, it's not that way anymore, but it used to be maybe there's just nobody in your town who's into what you're into. And maybe this is, this feels like not really an online group, although it could be sponsored or put together by an online group. This feels like meeting in person. Because almost the way these three are together, this feels like we're going to snap this picture. We're going to snap this picture and maybe post it on social media or somewhere, but this is an actual meeting in person kind of a situation. And that's how these deeper connections could be. If you've been where you've just been like, you haven't been meeting people in person on whatever level, it doesn't even have to do with any of the things that I've already mentioned. It could just be, well, it's easier just to stay home. I'm working all the time, Virgo, usually you're working a lot, and I see my friends' social media posts and we talk that way and we don't really ever get together. This could be the time frame where maybe that could be even a New Year's resolution for you to get together. Because the other thing, Saturn was also it's still in your opposite placement too, the house of others or the placement of others. And that could have made things difficult to deal with other people. And not this month, but next month, Saturn's getting out of there too, and it won't be back for like 30 years. So the shifting energy is taking pressure off of, or clearing the way for more connections. And yeah, some of them could be money-wise too. Seven of Cups, everything you've hoped for, you could be getting out of either this relationship or this gathering or whatever it is. There's a big thing. Two of Wands with Seven of Cups is like, I'm visualizing my future. I'm visualizing what I want to do with myself. And then you're co-creating it with your spirit guides and angels, and it's manifesting in the real world. This really looks like people are posing for a picture. It's never looked like that for me, ever. So it's coming together and look, oh, we're all here, you know. It could be a happy holiday thing. Maybe if, you know, if that was delayed. You know, some people, it's like, well, we have too much going on, we'll just do it whenever. We'll do it in January, or, you know. Whatever the case, it feels not really that, though. It feels like it's something not that you're not obligated to do, but rather that it interests you and you're drawn to it. You know what I mean? Sometimes family stuff, we feel more obligated to do it. Okay, let's go ahead and get our animal totem for our Virgos for January. The camel. That's endurance. It's also a mode of travel. So there could be, I was picking, it's not showing here, but I was picking up traveling. Like this may be something, even if it's travel locally, maybe it's a local thing, but for others I feel like this could be where you have to travel to go to this thing. Or maybe it's one of these group, you know, where they take people on, you go on a cruise together, or a group travels together somewhere. Maybe it's a place you've always dreamt of seeing. You've always dreamt of traveling there. Okay, dragon of the desert, wayfaring soul, sure-footedness amidst the shifting sands, overcoming insurmountable odds and preparing for the journey ahead. Yeah, preparing for the journey ahead. So, you know, sometimes Virgos, you know, you scrimp and save and you know, splurge a little if you can afford to. You know, even if it's, again, something, just a local thing that interests you. And, you know, maybe you could just splurge a little and put a little more enjoyment in your life. You know, make time for that. Social. Okay, let's go ahead and get the Holy HAMSA card. My own deck, I can't think of the name of it. Okay, Holy HAMSA for Virgo. Ooh, riddle me this. Okay, let's take a look closer. If you are on a device where you can pause and zoom in and you want to look at the background words, then do that, because you could totally get a message that way, perhaps. Its riddle card is number 24, and it says, life is a mystery waiting to be unraveled. Yes, indeed it is. Secret, unknown, mystery. There are times when the answer is unknowable, just as we drink the drink of forgetfulness and we enter into the earthly incarnation. Sometimes the not knowing is what makes life interesting. Perhaps there is a mystery right around the corner, a riddle to be solved, or a mysterious stranger may enter your life. Whatever the case, embrace the mystery in life and enjoy the ride. In some cases, not knowing might be your spirit guide's way of protecting you from something that will only bring you down or deter you from your soul's true path. Yeah, this mystery thing, I had another thought about it, and I think I almost lost it. Maybe I can grab it back. But it is talking about the spirit guides. The spirit guides can see further and more than we can ever see. Oh, that was what I was going to say. Sometimes Virgos, you can be really like, well, if it's, I want to know exactly what's happening. You know, you don't really like mystery. You know, you like to know what's going on. You don't really like this when it's like, you don't like to throw caution to the wind or to the spirit guides. You know, you want to know the itinerary. What time are we leaving? What time are we getting back? You know, so it's definitely, you know, leaning you towards more, you know, be a little looser. Be a little loosey-goosey. That's what my guys are saying. All right, let's get the lots of love, which may or may not pertain to love. Oh, I got two of them, so we're going to take them both. Engaged and kind. Yeah, I think you're going to find people are kind. And engaged could be an engagement. Yeah, maybe this is an engagement party. You know, could be. Somebody's going to be married. You know, definitely. But engaged, I think it's something you're engaged with, that you enjoy engaging with, and people that you enjoy engaging with. My ring keeps falling off. Okay, it says plainly, so that's a big yes for the lots of answer. And then the lots of proverb for Virgo sun, rising, moon is don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Yeah, see, somebody is kind. Somebody might be inviting you or saying, hey, I got an extra ticket. You know, you want to come. And don't be like, well, I don't know, I got to blah, 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 running down your list of all the reasons you can't come or this or that, trying to make, don't overthink it. If it feels good, go for it. If it's something that interests you, go for it, because it's being arranged by your spirit guides and angels, who again can see far and wide. They're giving me a couple songs. I lost the last one because I was talked right through it, but this is an old one. Something like, look for the Union label. I don't really remember it. I think it was some commercial. I'm going to look up real quick. Look for the, is that the Union label? It's sort of like a march. Dun, 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 dun. It's got this march feel to it, like you're marching along. Look for the Union label song commercial. Oh, it was not that long ago. It was in the 1970s, the mid 70s. Look for the Union label when you're buying a coat, dress, or blouse. I still don't even get. I guess it just makes sure it's union made. I guess it's not a specific. So this was from something from the 70s. Well, I mean, maybe union has to do with this. Maybe, does your union throw a holiday party? I mean, I don't know. But look for the Union label. That did come through. Yeah, so I haven't thought about that since then, since the 70s. So it's not a song I go around singing or anything. It's not on my playlist, okay? All right, Virgos. Well, hey, it looks like you're going to have, there's an opportunity for some fun. Of course, if you want to go into more details, you always need a personal reading, which I do have available on my website. I extended the year ahead for only the first week in January. So if you're watching this for the first week in January, you can still get in on that. But even so, there's other readings available, even if you missed the deadline on that. And then secondly, I do have those great year ahead astrology reports, only $22 for those. And that is a thorough astrology, like a 60, 70 page report mailed to you in a PDF email. And it covers every astrology aspect for the entire year, and it tells you all about it. So that's another thing to consider. Otherwise, have a great January, a great new year. And next we're going to move over to the sign of Libra. Hello, Libra. This is for Libra Sun, Rising, Moon. Anybody who has prominent Libra in their astrology chart, or cross watchers, or for whatever, all things Libra for January of 2026. We have the King of Swords, followed by the Four of Swords, followed by the World. Okay. Next we have the next three cards for Libra, Sun, Rising, World. So it's funny I said Sun, Rising, World. Sun, Rising, Moon. Yeah, that World's really grabbing me. It's a really beautiful card. Okay, but Sun, Rising, Moon, or whatever. Anybody watching who relates to Libra energy, this is for you. Wheel of Fortune, nice. The Sun, nice. And Ten of Cups again. Wow, you are heading into some really, really good energy. You know, the King of Swords, this is a representation of you, first of all. Doesn't matter whether you're male, female. It's not gender specific, okay? So it's the King of Swords. Now, the swords are the air sign people, like you, the Aquarius, the Gemini, Libra. The King is also more mature. They are more further along on their path. They have reached the point of attainment. Ah, that was a mouthful. I run out of breath trying to say it, but my guides came through with that. The point of attainment. So Four of Swords, this is like you've been waiting, you've been resting, you've been wanting to get to this position, waiting for your turn to step into the sun. That's what it is. And it's coming, okay? It's coming. I almost want to say more this year, but it could be this month. Now, besides this being a representation of you, it's air sign energy. And we are going to be moving into the Aquarius season, air sign energy, as of the 19th, through the rest of the month. We will be in Aquarius season, so it could be Aquarius season. Or maybe even the fourth week, which will be Aquarius season. But, I mean, you've got the world here. The world is opening up to you. It's going to be bigger. It's worth the wait, okay? Whatever it is, it was worth the wait. It's opening up to you in a bigger, better way. The Wheel of Fortune is here, but what's grabbing me is these X's. I know it's Roman numerals, but the XX, 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 all these X's are grabbing my attention. So, I mean, I don't know, is that X like your mark, all your boxes are marked off, maybe checks, but X's. But also the other thing that came to mind is X marks the spot. Like you found that, X marks the spot. You found that treasure, that thing. Now, Wheel of Fortune is wonderful. This is aligning with your destiny. divine synchronicity, divine timing. See, when you get the Four of Swords with the Wheel of Fortune, it's like you've been waiting for the time to be right, and Wheel of Fortune says, yes, it is right. You know, you've aligned with that right timing, that right event, that right thing. And the sun is like, wow, you're really shining. Again, it could be when the sun moves into the air sign of Aquarius. So that's going to be after the 19th. Whatever this is, it is bringing wonderful Ten of Cups energy in. It's bringing happiness, joy. Maybe some of you are falling in love, but it's really more about you. You finding, you being aligned with your true soul's calling, you finding those synchronicities, you finding that happiness, joy. Just you're really aligning, and you've been waiting for it. And the timing, it's coming. You know, it's really coming. I want to say also maybe by the 10th month, because those X's were standing out to me. X by the 10th month of by your solar return, when we get to October of this year. I know that's a ways off, but you got the 10th, you got that showing everywhere. That might, for some, you know, you may not reach the full attainment. It might not just be flip a switch. You know, especially if you're still in, it depends on where you are, you know. If you're still, I'm doing the wrong things, if you're still in, you know, in the Knight or King, you're not ready for that King energy yet, you're still stepping into it. And then it will be attained by the time we reach up to that 10th month of October, around your birthday season, when the sun goes into Libra in your sign. Okay, let's go ahead and get the animal totem for Libra, Sun, Rising, Moon. We have the dolphin. That's really high vibing energy too. Excuse me, very high vibing. Okay, dolphin. Optimist, clairaudient, spirit guide, starseed. Excuse me. Joyous interaction of fun and play, sexuality. Caring for those less fortunate, embracing personal freedom and respecting others' choices. You know, the world is very much a card of personal freedom too. She's got it all. She's got everything. She can choose from anything. She's got everything that's before her. What am I hearing? Where king and queens bow and play for you. What is that? Green grass and high tides forever. Statues of something in glory. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. Where kings and queens bow and play for you. Ooh. Yeah, it's green grass and high tides forever. So that's good. All right, Holy HAMSA. Holy HAMSA for Libra for January. Kings and queens bow and play for you. It's stuck in my head now. Magic. Well, that's a good one. I wonder whatever happened to my cat, Magic. He just disappeared one day and I never found him. Magic is if you want to zoom in and see if you spot anything that resonates. Now I'm thinking about Mr. Madge, my cat that disappeared. Anyways, miracles, whimsical, enchantment. There's magic all around us. Embrace the possibilities. That's what the world is opening up the possibilities to. That makes sense. Magic is at work in your life when this card makes an appearance. By noticing the little miracles happening all around us, the door opens up to even bigger magical transformations. In some cases, you may be drawn to magical activities such as spell writing, rituals, and other mystical musings. Others may be drawn to sleight of hand, card tricks, and even performing as a magician. Whatever the case, magic is alive and well and waiting to manifest in your life. Yeah, it is. All right, well, let's go jump over and get the lots of love, which may or may not pertain to love. Heal. Oh, that's just fuzz. I thought it was a bug or something, too. It's just a little piece of fuzz from the pouch. Heal. So, yeah, you needed to go through a healing time. It's showing up here. In order, you heal for what's coming up. Get ready for what's coming up. Summon your energy. Get your energy. That's what I'm going to do after this today. I'm doing this on New Year's Eve. I'm going to get this all ready and going, and then I'm resting. I've been working like I'm crazy. Okay, next card for Libra. It says soon. Yes, I'm almost feeling like, not that, it's not like there'll be nothing and then all of a sudden on your birthday everything, you know, it's going to be a steady progression, right? And then lastly, the lots of proverb for Libra. It says, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. Okay. Well, you know, that's what I feel too. Maybe you've been working really hard, you know, physical work, and you don't have time. You could be physically exhausted, and then you don't even have time to, you know, I had jobs like that back when I was younger, you know. You just get home at the end of the day and you just fall on the bed because you're just exhausted. You don't have time to think about or do anything else, you know. So if that's the case, you know, definitely rest up, because good things are ready to pop here for you, Libra. You're coming into a really positive time. You've got some great cards showing up. Hey, if you want to dive into this and see more personally how it would affect you, then, you know, you can have to get a personal reading. I do have different personal readings available, of course, but if you're watching this the first week in January, I have extended that year ahead just for the first week of January, and that's absolutely going to be the end of it. But always I have some other readings available. Another thing, if you don't want to get the personal tarot reading ahead, this is a good time for everybody to order their Astrology Year Ahead report. It's only $22. It covers the whole year astrology. So check that out if you're interested. Have a great one. Happy New Year again. Next we're going to look at Scorpio. Hi Scorpio, Sun, Rising, Moon, everybody who has Scorpio in their chart or relates to the Scorpio energy. This is going to be your tarot forecast for, well, it's psychic tarot and other stuff. But here we go. We got Ace of Wands, the Six of Wands, and Three of Wands. A lot of wands. Look at that. Accomplishment. Making things happen, Scorpio. Things are happening for Scorpio. All right. 3 more cards for the bottom row for our Scorpio friends for the January 26th Psychic Tarot. Almost looks like we want to give another one there, huh? Let's see. I think we'll have to do this. We'll have to do this and we'll have to do this, because they both wanted to come out. Okay, we're going to do 4. Well, you have a nice reading here, Scorpio. The seeds that you're planting in the new year here, they are gonna be realized, and in a way you're gonna be victorious here. You're gonna have this triumph and victory, not because of calling in favors or any other thing, only because you are the most qualified, you are the best person for the job, you've worked hard, you've earned this, okay, Scorpio? You have earned this. So you've planted your seeds, maybe of January 1st, but maybe you've even planted these seeds, you know, with all this wand energy, fire, maybe you even planted it back in Sagittarius season in December. And now you're starting to see, and the Three of Wands, your ships are coming in. You're reaching some sort of pinnacle of success, and now you're like, well, where can I take it from here? I've achieved this. What's next for me? What's on the horizon? What else can I achieve? Where do I go next? What else can I do with this? You have the Chariot down here, and this is the highest success card in the entire deck. It's the Phoenix rising from the ashes, which is also a representation of you, Scorpio. One of the representations of you, the Phoenix rising from the ashes. That's you, death and rebirth. We've got Wheel of Fortune with the Soulmate card. These extra cards wanted to come out. So this King of Swords is absolutely going to be a soulmate to you. So the King of Swords could be an air sign person, could be an Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra, Sun, Rising, Moon. Also, though, could be timing. Because Wheel of Fortune is here too. Not only is Wheel of Fortune fate and destiny, but it's divine timing. So we are going to move into the sign of Aquarius, the air sign time frame, after the 19th. So it could be after the 19th, there could be some sort of fated encounter, Wheel of Fortune, and you are connected with a soulmate. Now, this could be a soulmate who owes you a karmic favor. It may be a romantic thing for some, sure, but it also, because you're getting all this success and victory everywhere, that could be the nature of this soulmate relationship. You may have a soul contract with somebody who comes in and is offering you an opportunity or giving you a leg up or something. This is not a snake. It's just the collar of his shirt or whatever. But man, for a minute there, it changed into fully into a snake. So snake is Kundalini energy. It's root chakra. That can be a sexual attraction. But snake also is, you know, shedding your skin. You're shedding your skin. You're ready to step into this next level thing. And he's a king. He's not a... Sometimes the air sign people can be bullshitters, honestly. He's not a bullshitter. They could be anybody. This person is not a bullshitter. This person is, my guides are saying they're telling it like it is. So they're telling it like it is. Whoa, 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 your foolish pride. That's a good one. That might be one to do for, tell it like it is. Oh, baby. Do-do-do-do. 1 second. If I don't write this down, I will not remember like it is. Song, too. A song on there, because I'll be like, tell it like it is. What's this? It's a song. Tell it like it is. Oh, whoa. Okay. Animal totem. We're going to tell it like it is for Scorpios. You got the beaver. Beaver's building something. I know old school, it was like referred to a feminine's body part. And sometimes that comes through. I'll start laughing because it just hits me that way. But people haven't talked like that in decades. But anyways, builder, dreamer, familiar friend, dweller of land, water, a foot in two worlds. Ah, there you go, foot in two worlds. Because your old thing is ending and then you're rising to the new heights. Your diligence can change the flow of the river. Be the architect of your life. Plant those seeds, Scorpio. And tell it like it is. I can't get off that song. Oh. All right, let's get the, not the animal totem, but the Holy HAMSA card for Scorpio Sun, Rising, Moon, anybody with prominent Scorpio placements for January 2026. Home. Okay, if you want to, if you're on a device where you can pause and zoom in and you want to take a look at the background words, you may be able to get a personal message there. This is card 30. And it is a card of being, it's kind of like, if you're familiar with more with tarot, this card was sort of modeled after the Four of Wands. It's sort of like that. A home is where the heart is, a place to call your own. Lair, haven, sanctuary. But you could be, well, this person could have that for you, or you could be moving in with somebody if it's a romance. We all need a place to call home, whether it is a brick and mortar building or simply a state of being. A place that is filled with love and good fortune for all who dwell there. If you have been wanting to move, this card may denote just that. A change for the better is in your living situation is indicated. In some cases, you may be moving in with a partner and building a love nest. Yeah, the love shack is a little old place where, okay, a sense of contentment and peace fills your heart as you lay your head down at night. Well, that sounds pretty good, huh, Scorps? Yeah, you may be moving in with somebody. Or maybe they just have an opportunity for you. Maybe it's a realtor and they found that perfect spot for you. Okay, lots of love, which may be, or not, pertain to love. Converse. And then lots of answer. Next is lots of answer. And it says easily. Easily. Well, I said this before, and let me get your lots of proverb. But I said this before on a... Okay, give me a second here. I said this before on one of the other readings. This person, it's easy. You know, sometimes you meet somebody and it's just weird and you just can't really relate to them. And other times, you know, you just feel like you're old friends. You know, the Wheel of Fortune. Because you probably are. You probably knew each other in a past life or something. But this is life is what you make it. But when it came out, it was upside down, and I saw it is. And that song came right back. Tell it like it is. I swear to God. So maybe you got to tell it like it is. Maybe you got to bear it. Sometimes, Scorpio, you're you don't like to put your heart on your sleeve. You know, you're a little bit reserved sometimes like that. You just send out those sexy eyes to somebody and expect them to know because you know what it means. But sometimes people don't get that. So maybe you need to be really truthful and honest with somebody, because maybe I feel like you will be surprised with the response you get. I don't feel like you'll be disappointed. You need to converse and tell it like it is. Okay? Alright, Scorps, that song is still on loop in my head. So maybe we need to look up the rest of it. There's something in there about forget your foolish pride. Let's look that up. Then I'll be sure to remember it too, because it'll be on my phone. Tell it like it is. Lyrics. If you want... oh, this isn't Aaron Neville. Well, I guess he probably did a version of it. The one I'm thinking of is not Aaron Neville, though, for sure. It's older than that. Is that even the right song? Yeah. Well, maybe this is it. If you want something to play with, go and find yourself a toy. Baby, my time is too expensive, and I'm not your little boy. See, this is a king, so he's not playing those kind of games. If you are serious, don't play with my heart. It makes me furious. You rhymed serious and furious. But if you want me to love you, then baby, I will. Girl, you know I will. Tell it like it is. Don't be ashamed. Let your conscience be your guide. But I know deep down inside of me, I believe you love me. Forget your foolish pride. Yeah. You can be that way too, Scorpio. You know it. You can be really fixed and pride. See, my daughters say that. You're too prideful. I say, well, it's not pride. It's called integrity. That's the way but yeah, I get that. Life is too short. Mostly Leos get accused of that, but Scorpio, you know you got that too. Life is too short to have sorrow. You are meant to be, you may be here today and gone tomorrow. You may as well get what you want. So go out and leave, baby. Go on and leave. Tell it like it is. I'm nothing to play with. Go find yourself a toy. But I tell it like it is. My time is too expensive and I'm not your little boy. Well, okay. Well, there it is. Yeah. So that foolish pride thing, though, yeah. And maybe it's not foolish. Yeah, I tell my kids it's called integrity. But anyways, if you want to get in more details, you can always order a personal reading from me. If you're watching this the first week in January, then the year ahead may still be available. I'm going to take it down after the first week of January for sure. Lastly, though, I do have that astrology, year ahead astrology report. Very affordable. Makes a great gift for people, too. Okay, next we're going to take a look at Sagittarius. All right, Sagittarius. We got to change the energy because I tell it like it is, won't go away. Sagittarius, you such a crazy pants. We got to bring in the Sagittarius, you're crazy pants. I just looked up on the timer on the clock. It was 3333. 3333. Well, threes are foundation. Well, it's communication. It's also foundational, too. Okay. Let's go ahead. Oh, this just flipped over, and the Three of Cups flew out. With that, so there's a 3. I'm going to just go with it. We're going to take those for your bottom row. This was in somebody else's reading, these two cards together, though. I think it might have been Virgo. But anyways, let's get the top cards for our Sagittarius. That will not go away. All right, we heard Tell It Like It Is. I even read the whole lyrics. We can stop with that now. Okay, King of Wands. 5 of Swords. Still there. Still singing Tell It Like It Is. Queen of Wands. I'm not going to indulge them any further. I'm not singing it again. I'm talking about my guides. They keep playing that song on loop. If you are interested in it, I just went over it with Scorpio. You can rewind the video. Okay, so we've got King of Wands, which is a representation of you. 5 of Swords in the middle, and then Queen of Wands on the other end. Well, this is you and your partner, or a partner, and you've reached this point of contention. We've reached this point of, where we both are digging our heels in. 5 of Swords is something that can't be resolved, okay? So, many cases you're going to have to ask yourself, well, can I live with this or can I not? This is something that's not going to be changed in this other person. So, can I deal with it or can I not? that's the thing. And it's interesting too because they're not looking at each other either. You know, even though they're the king and queen, like they're the match set, you know, these are the partners, you know, you could be either one of them. But definitely the king is not looking. They're looking the other way. I mean, I feel like they're already looking the other way, and they may be ready to move on. Somebody's moving. Maybe it's you. Because the Eight of Cups is the card of moving on. And it is something that you've put a lot of emotional, you know, you've put a lot of your heart into it. It could be 8 years worth, or 8 months, or 8 years. What am I thinking of? Sagittarius. Uranus is about to go into your 7th house, if you're Sag rising. Either way, it will be in the sign of your opposite sign. So Uranus in the other. People are going to be acting fickle and strange, number one. And number two, you may want your freedom. You may not want to be strained, you know, tied into any other at all. You may be the one who says, you know, I'm done. I'm hearing that. Well, at least it's not that other song I don't even want to think about, but it's an oldie. Turn me loose, turn me loose, turn me loose. I gotta sing my way. It's like a hi-hat. Turn me loose. We're not looking it up. It's an 80s song with a lot of synths in it, a lot of synthesizer. A lot of times I get the creeps from her because her face is so pasty and weird looking. She looks definitely witchy, you know, witchy woman over here. But this today, not so much. And what gets me on her is this little flame on there, that little flame. And I'm hearing that song, This Little Light of Mine, I'm Gonna Let It Shine. So, you know, maybe you've been it could be a work situation, it could be a business partnership, it could be a friendship. It could be a neighbor. I had Uranus in the 7th. A lot of it was around a neighbor that I was dealing with every day, you know. But what I'm getting is, while you still have that little, there's still a little light inside of you that isn't part of them anymore. That's still uniquely you, okay? That doesn't need their approval, that doesn't need their whatever, you know, you don't have to run it by them. And maybe you haven't done that in a really long time. Maybe you've been in a situation where you've always had to run it by them, where you did. Maybe you didn't have to, but you did for a long time. And even though it's sort of dark and like, it's like giving birth to this new, like in the womb, but there's that little flicker of light there. And you'll find your way. You will find your way. Okay? With the help of your guides, your angels and spirit guides here. The Temperance card is about co-creating with the universe, co-creating with your higher guidance, co-creating with your angels. It's a very favorable, positive card. And Three of Cups is here too. You will find your people too. There's people who aren't going to be cold and to tell you you're wrong and try to make you feel small. I'm getting a really stern vibe off this King of Wands. Again, the gender could be reversed or different. You know, it doesn't have to be this is the man, that's the woman. It could be, it's your situation. Apply it to your situation. But I'm getting a really stern, and which is not usually King of Wands vibe, but I'm picking that up off of him. And he's just like, well, you know, it feels like hard to please. You know, like you have to bend over backwards, and nothing's ever good enough, and they're always, it feels very critical, and very unable to, you'll never satisfy them. You'll just never satisfy them. Why not go on and be with people who are cool, and that you don't have to try so hard with, you know, that you do feel at home with. Some of you may be going on a trip. Maybe it's like a girls' trip, or, you know, again, it doesn't have to be a girls' trip, but it might be a getaway with your friends. You know, you might be going on a getaway with your friends, and that could put a, you know, that could be like bring a breath of fresh air, and that could bring in a whole new perspective for you. Whatever the case is, you've got to, while you still have that light left, you have to, you know, sometimes Sagittarius are not usually, they're the bachelor and bachelorettes of the zodiac. Sometimes they don't, you guys aren't meant for a long-term relationship. Not everybody is. And not everybody's meant to get married. Not everybody's meant to have kids. You know, we don't all have to fit into that mold, you know. But right now, it feels like you definitely, whatever you're grappling with, it's unresolvable. And for at the very least, you need some breathing room. Maybe some of you are going to move on for good. But take some time and be around the people that do accept you and do love you, and that you feel built, you feel revitalized being around, refreshed and revitalized. Not somebody who makes you feel small or where you got to hide yourself away. Hey, you got to hide your love away. Hey, animal totem, howl, get out there and howl at that moon, baby. Well, the full moon, if you're wondering, the full moon's going to be on the 3rd, so it's going to be, there's a ton of stuff in Capricorn on this full moon. And if you're Sagittarius sun signs particularly, there's a good chance you could have planets in Capricorn. So this could be the trigger to just say, you know what, there's a full moon on here and there's a full moon on there. And I think there's maybe, it's a sun. But, you may just say, the full moon could illuminate to say, hey, you know what? I'm out of here. I'm not going to please you. I'm going to please myself. Wild spirit of the wilderness. Yeah, find that wild spirit within you. Impeccable instincts draw your path. Needing freedom to roam far and wide. There you go. Embracing the interdependency of all life. Yeah, just because you want to get away from them doesn't mean you're alone. You got to find your pack. You got to find your peeps and find your pack, or you probably already know them. See, here's another thing, the energy I get out of this person, and this is another thing that people that are controlling in relationships will do. So one of the first things they'll do is they'll pull you away from your friends. They cut you off from your friends and family. So if you're in a situation like that, you go out, at least, I'm not telling you to leave or stay, but at least you make sure that you have another outlet. You have another outlet of connection besides them. Your world doesn't revolve around them, or it shouldn't. It doesn't have to. Okay, let's get the Holy HAMSA for Sagittarius. Sagittarius! Timing. Divine timing. Well, it's time to do something. What it is, it's going to be on a case-by-case basis. It's going to be up to you. You have support available if you want it. Time. Oh, hold it up, and if you want to, if you're on a device where you can pause and look at the words, then you can do that if you feel like it. It's card number 23, and it says cycles, Saturn, milestones. Time is the most valuable thing a man can spend. Time, a construct of our 3D existence. A marker of milestones, of watershed moments. The corridors of time flow backwards and forwards through the many expressions of our soul experience. The time card may indicate a time to act, a time to let something go, or maybe an indicator that divine timing is at work in your query. In astrology, Saturn is known as Father Time and is a symbol of the wise elder. You may want to look into the astrological cycles and transits that are occurring at this time, often reflecting back on the cyclical events. Often reflecting back on these cyclical events can offer insights to your current situation. Yeah, Saturn is Father Time. Well, Saturn is moving into Aries, and another fire sign of you. Saturn's been squaring your Sagittarius stuff, so that could be, karmic relationships. Endings for everybody, though. Saturn and Pisces has been endings for everybody. Alright, let's go ahead and reach into my bag of tricks. He reaches into his bag of tricks. What is that? Felix the cat. The wonderful, wonderful cat. Whenever he gets in a fix, he reaches into his bag of tricks. Let's reach in our bag of tricks. Growth. Yeah, you've outgrown something here, for sure. When this Five of Swords comes up and this guy with the attitude, you've outgrown that. This little light of mine, you're unsure. Sure, we all are. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. If you can dream it, you can do it. That's another good one to add to my list. Light of mine, let it shine. Light of mine, I don't even know if that's the name. Let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. If you can dream it, you can do it. But I feel like you've got to get a little distance from this energy before you can dream anything. She feels really shut down. Really, really shut down. And look at him. He's taking all the energy. He's sucking all the light. So no more sucking the light. You revitalize yourself. You find your pack, and then you make the decision. Either maybe some of you will go, but some of you may say, hey, things are going to have to change around here. We're not doing things like that anymore. You know, it's going to be different on a case-by-case basis. Okay, Sagittarius, well, I hope that you find your light and you let it shine in January and in the new year. If you want a personal reading, you can head over to my website. There's several different kinds available. If you're watching the very first week of January only, and that is 100% going to be it, you can still get that year ahead reading, the psychic tarot reading, but only through my website. No social media. That's a bunch of BS. Those are not real. Those are imposters. And also, one last thing, I do have the astrology report, the year ahead astrology report, which is also really cool. Okay, next, Capricorn. Well, Capricorn, this full moon in Cancer that's happening on the 3rd here, boy, the opposite sign, everything is in your sign besides practically. There's a big, huge stellium of lineup of Capricorn energy. And by the way, happy birthday to all you Capricorns who are January Capricorns, of course. I tend to, look past that because I tend to forget it because I'm a Capricorn, December Capricorn. But boy, this full moon, even though it's in Cancer, it is so, so, so powerful for you. It's culmination, it's showing you the way, it's seeing the light, it's seeing, getting that enlightenment, getting that knowledge, getting that, oh, I see now, I see the way to go. You have a lot of vibes around you, but even like Venus is in your sign. So this talks about, you having that mojo. You got your mojo working there, Capricorn. People are attracted to you. Okay, let's go ahead and get the first, well, I put this first, doesn't matter really. We have the Sun card, Well, the Sun is in your sign, and your solar return is coming up. Knight of Pentacles, Earth sign person, could be a representation of you. And Temperance, boy, that Temperance card sure is coming out. Let's do the top row from this deck, 1, 2, 3. We have the Hermit, followed by the Magician, and then finally the Queen of Cups. I was going to say, it almost worked out to be that the whole thing was Major Arcana except for your card. But we ended up getting a couple more, well, one more. We got the Queen of Cups. But there's still a ton of Major Arcana, okay? Major Arcana talks about higher forces at work. So let's start at the beginning. The Hermit is talking about needing time alone, meditating, contemplating, thinking things through. That might be a good idea. That might not be a bad idea to do on that full moon in Cancer. But then I forgot to mention, we are going to have a new moon in your sign also this month on the 18th, at the very end of the sign almost, 28 degrees. So this feels like this is the full moon, the first couple of weeks, going within, figuring out what you want to do, receiving that enlightenment and that energy that full moon is beaming your way and shining down upon you. What is that? Countenance upon you and give you grace and give you grace. It's a choir song. The Lord take you and keep you. The Lord lift his countenance upon you. You can replace Lord with whatever. You could say the universe, or I don't like the word Lord either. I don't like that word and I don't use it. I noticed that while I was singing Christmas carols. There's a lot of stuff about Lord and it's just like it's a beautiful song that I've always loved, but I don't really feel comfortable singing those words out. There's no Lord and Master. It just comes over like I just don't like it. But whatever. And look, even there is that full moon in the background there, and then the new moon, which is when the sun joins with the moon, and it's the new beginning, the new solar year for you, Magician number 1. Then you're ready to come out like gangbusters. You're ready to be the Magician. You're lined up with the Magician. You're the Knight of Pentacles. You feel young again. You feel revitalized around your solar return. You're working with your guides and angels here. You're co-creating with the universe. You're telling them what you want to create and what you want to do. It's got that red sun in both of these cards. That's your solar return, or the new moon if your solar return meaning birthday. Usually it's your birthday. It could be one day before, one day after. Mine was a full day before. Mine was Christmas morning this year. My birthday's the December 26th. But my solar return was early in the morning on Christmas Day this year. So, way early. But working with your guides and angels, this is a holy time. This is, oh holy night. This is the holy night. These are these times. Yeah, January 1st, yeah, it's in the collective zeitgeist, so it does carry some impact and some energy, but really, truly, your solar return is your new year. But this year it happens to line up, too, when all these planets are in your sign. Sometimes that'll happen because it's Capricorn season every year, of course, but this year is a little unusual. We got all those planets lined together. But the magician is, you are stepping out, and even like the usual magician, well, he does have a tiny little something there, a magic wand of some sort in his hand over here, if you can see. See, he's that thing there in his hand. But usually the magician, it's like he's got this big scepter, and you're carrying this scepter. You're becoming the magician. You're working with your higher guides and angels, but you're also embodying the energy of that magician, and on that solar energy. The Queen of Cups is in here as an important factor, and also aligned with the Temperance card. So the universe is bringing in your guides, angels, higher source is bringing in this Queen of Cups energy. So Queen of Cups usually is the water sign person. So it could be the Scorpio, the Cancer, or the Pisces, or a water sign astrology event. Well, guess what? That full moon here is in Cancer. It's this. I feel for most, this is an actual person. This is you putting yourself out there, and this person shows up by like a miracle, like magic, from the magician. Some kind of magical thing. The universe brings you in, just the person that you've been looking for, on whatever level. Yeah, it could be romantic, it could be a business partner, it could be somebody that's going to help you in promoting your work business, hire you, give you wise advice. The Queen of Cups is very empathic. This could be somebody that really gives you a really good information, or is caring towards you and nurturing towards you and cares. Notice too that the wings on the Temperance card and in this deck, she has that. So it's like you might see this person as an angel, Earth angel comes into your life, and is just what you've been asking for to help you. To help you see it through, my guides are saying. Even the yellow behind there looks like solar, kind of a little bit, and she's even. What's actually the aura of that. I think it's a hymn, but they all have that sun, that orb of sun shining behind. So your solar return very powerful. Again, if that already passed, you can do your manifestation the whole time, but that new moon in Capricorn will also be super powerful. Alright, let's see for Capricorn. The animal totem is the ant card, which is all about working hard and community. Okay, working tirelessly for the good of all, connecting to community and knowing our place in it. You can move mountain and make miracles happen. Didn't I almost say miracle on that, but then I changed it to magic? So it could seem miraculous. Things, something coming into being here could seem almost miraculous, magical, miraculous, all of the above. Alright, let's get our Holy HAMSA card for Capricorn's friends for their big birthday time frame. We have Dream. Dream. All you gotta do is dream. Dream, dream, dream. Ooh, a little off on that. When I love you, all I wanna do is dream. No. Alright, Dream, card number 25. 25 equals 7. This is a little bit of a take on the 7 of Cups in the tarot, a little bit. If you want to pause the video and zoom in and take a look, you can maybe see it. Okay. 25, intuition, meditation, subconscious. Well, it pairs well with the Hermit card, too. Subconscious, visioning your life into being, communing with your higher self. That's right here. I talked about that. The dream card is the only card in the deck where the eye is closed. That's true. It also has Neptune on it. Neptune's going to move into a square of your signs, too, on the 26th and after that. So that might be something having to do with that Neptunian energy. Let's see here. Okay, it's the only card where the eye is closed, inviting us to look inward for the answers. More than answers, you are co-creating your life through your dreams and visions. Co-creating, I know I mentioned that. Do not judge your life by what you see in the outer world. Instead, keep your focus on what you are creating from within. Work with the patterns of your subconscious mind can bring great insights into what may be holding you back from living your dream life. When the dream card makes an appearance, be sure to pay close attention to your dreams. Write them down or speak them into your phone as soon as you wake before they fade into oblivion. All right. Yeah, well, this is the time. This solar return time, this new moon time, even if you're a Capricorn rising or whatever, that new moon is in your first house. You know, all this stuff's in your first house. So, you know, it's still relevant. It still works. Okay, let's go ahead and get your lots of love, which may or may not pertain to love, karmic. Okay, yeah, karmic situations, karmic cycles. Well, you know, Saturn is your lord, and he's the lord of the karma. So many Capricorns come in with a big karmic load anyway. Let's see here. Oh, I pulled the wrong one, but it's okay. A little knowledge is a dangerous thing. Well, yeah, Hermit, you need to do a little deep dive at first, especially around this full moon. You know, take a couple days or whatever to just really, you know, be more knowledgeable. Clearly. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. All right, so things are looking up, Capricorn. You are manifesting. You are working with higher powers to manifest. And another thing that just came to me, this angel wing thing, for some of you, this could be like somebody who's passed into spirit, and now they are a guardian angel. Or it could be an earth angel too, like I said, but it might be like sort of somebody that you know that is no longer with us in the earth plane, but they're still working with you. They're in the position of being like a spirit guide or something now. All right, well, Capricorn, happy birthday one more time. Happy birthday one more time. If you want to get the year ahead, you've got 1 week to do that. But I also have that year ahead astrology reading. Very affordable. Good time to get it. Goes over all the astrology for the year. Anything having to do with me, and no matter what, is always going to be through my website. Please don't be fooled by these imposters on social media. Not only for me, but for everybody. They're just ridiculous. They're emailing you, pretending to be other people, messaging you. That's their fakes, okay? So don't get fooled. Don't get taken in. I just need one more little drink of water. My throat is getting a little parched from talking so much, but it's okay because now we're going to do Aquarius. And also, happy birthday to all you January Aquariuses, end of January. This is going to be your solar return time. So this is also, again, the time when you really co-create your reality. You know, yes, January 1st, there's that, but there's also, it's more poignant to do it around your birthday or when the sun is going over your ascendant, if that's the case. King of Swords, Four of Pentacles, and Six of Wands. Okay, let's get 3 more cards for Aquarius for the month of January of 2026. This is going to be for Aquarius Sun, Rising, Moon. Anybody with prominent placements, I see that's messed up there. I'm going to fix it. Just let me get my cards cut and put out, and then we'll pull them down so they're not getting glared. Hierophant, the Fool, and 8 of Wands. Things are moving quickly. All right. Let's get down here. Pull these down also. And here we go. There, that looks good, right? Well, King of Swords, that's a representation of you. And the Swords people are the air sign people. So they're the Aquariuses, but also the Geminis and Libras. So not only could it represent you, but it could represent another air sign person in your life. I think for most it's you, though. And I feel like you're showing as the king because you are stepping into the power of the king. You are taking your seat on the throne. You are rising to your best possible self around this time. Four of Pentacles, something that you've been working on with the money and maybe hasn't been bringing in all that much income. Six of Wands, it could really start to, you could see a big pickup in that, a big uptick, my guides are saying. It's probably going to be after the sun moves into your sign. Even if you're a February Aquarius, it's probably going to be after the 19th when you get this Six of Wands here. Some kind of major triumph, major victory, major recognition for all the hard work that you've been putting in. It's coming through the Hierophant, it looks like. So the Hierophant is this larger group or organization. It could be like, if you're writing a book, maybe it's the publisher. Or if you're looking to get a loan or something, it could be the bank. Or if you're looking to get a job through some big company, it could be this big company or something. And the Fool is here, and the Fool is like, the Fool is not foolish. The Fool is ready to go for it. They've got this little bag. They're not carrying around a bunch of baggage. Oh, God. I never noticed this before, but I don't know. Take a look at that sack that he's carrying. Even using that word, and it's attached to this stick here. Well, I don't know. Fool is about taking chances, but going towards something with an open heart. That's what the Fool is about. I can't take it. Fool is about going for something with an open heart. And I've had this deck for decades. I've never noticed that I can remember. And he's going towards the Hierophant. The Hierophant holds the key. The Hierophant holds the key. The key to your heart. I am going. I am yours. You are mine. You are what you are. Da-da. You take it on. Sometimes it hurts so badly I must cry out loud. What is that? It's a Crosby, Still, Nash song. I am yours, yours, you are mine. I'm out of key. I'm losing it. But what is that? Will you come see me Tuesdays and Saturdays? Hey, hey. I don't know. If anybody knows, leave it in the comments. But it's the key to your heart. Now, that could be the key to your heart in a romantic way. Sure. Maybe with another air sign. But the key to your heart, not everybody's key to their heart is to find this fairy tale marriage. Maybe the key to your heart is something completely different, and that's okay. It's okay to not want the traditional lifestyle of marriage and family. You know, that's maybe not everybody's, it's not everybody's destiny, and maybe not everybody's suited for that. So whatever the key to your heart is. Sometimes this has to do with the medical profession too. If there's something having to do with medical profession that you're trying to get involved in, for some it's, like my daughter's a doctor, and she had to do, they have to pick you. She's already past that phase. But there's a word of it for it, where they pick you to come, and some people don't get picked, you know, or they just don't get picked to go to their next, to learn to be. It's not an apprentice, is it residency? I don't know, but it's one of those things. I should know it because I heard it a million times when it was coming up. She was so talking about it all the time, but it's been a couple of years now, and I don't remember. But you're going to get picked. Okay, don't worry, you're going to get picked. And then the Eight of Wands is like news is coming. Things are happening quickly. And the Fool, too, he's ready to go in an instant. So there could be some swift changing things, Uranian things. Well, Uranus is your ruling planet. So, you're up for that. There could be some swift changing energy all of a sudden where you've got to pick up in an instant and go. But I feel like you're more than ready to do it. You're excited about it. It's not anything like, oh no, this wrecks my life. It's like, oh man, this is what I wanted. I'm so happy. So happy I got it. Alright, so let's go ahead and get your animal totem for Aquarius, Sun, Rising, Moon. Peacock, look out, Aquarius. Well, I was telling Capricorn, a lot of planets are in their sign. Well, they're all going to be trucking on over to your sign. More at the end of the month and next week. Maybe next week. Maybe next week, 'cause you see, I'm on a losing streak. I can't get no. But you're going to be getting whatever. Whatever you want here. Anyways, flamboyant, elegant, proud, sacred. Death, resurrection, immortality. The phoenix rising. Adding color to your personal style. The spotlight is on you. Strut your stuff. Well, especially next to the Six of Wands, yes, but especially as we move into Aquarius season, the spotlight is on you. So do stretch your stuff. No, don't be afraid to shake what Mama gave you. This reading is getting more and more off the rails. Oh gosh, and then we dropped the card. Well, I have to go down and get it. Gems. Ooh. Well, gems are just that. They just are the gemstones. And if you want to, number one, if you want to look at the background and see if any of the words stand out to you, but also look at those gems, any specific color, more the color, because the cuts, any stone could be cut to any, anything, but the color of the stone, that might be, if something grabs your eye, that might be the color of the stone that you need to work with, wear, or whatever. Let me get a drink of water. Oh my gosh, this is killing me. All right, jewels, sparkle, dazzle. Sparkling with light, bedazzled all around you. The gemstone card reminds us to shine and sparkle. Well, so does the phoenix. I mean, the peacock is shining and sparkling too, right? People will notice you as you shimmer and shine, yes. It is time to add some color or pizzazz to your personal style. Brighten your environment with splashes of vivid color to uplift and inspire. When this card turns up, it may be calling you to work with actual gemstones, whether wearing them on your person in the form of jewelry and adornments, or just to have them in your environment. Like I always have rocks around here. Allow your intuition to guide you toward the stone or stones that are best for you at this moment. Yeah, so if a certain color stands out to you, that might be the... Where'd he go? I just saw him. He landed there. I don't know if it picked it up on camera. One of those little fruit fly bugs. But anyway, I was going to smush him. I'm ready. I'm prepared. Okay. Now, let's get the... lots of love, which may or may not pertain to love for Aquariuses. Sexy. I'm sexy and I know it. Well, that sure is coming through all over the place, because that Fool card, I have never seen that on the Fool card, ever. I've had this deck for decades. Okay. And it says, agreed. My guides agree. They never saw that either. And then finally, better safe than sorry. Well, take that as it resonates, but I don't know that that's what this reading is really about. It could be, though, better safe than sorry. Here's a way that might apply. Like, if you're trying to do something and you're really wanting to be more freelance or out there, and this big company comes along and is offering, there's something, security about this. So that might be, this might be an option that you want to go towards, the more secure option. That has, like, better safe than sorry, that has good medical benefits, or these, or maybe you're thinking about, well, I want to try this thing, but it's really risky, but this company's offering me this great position. It's going to be different for everybody, because you sure are shining and sparkling now, So take that as it resonates. But anyways, Aquarius, thanks for tuning in. I hope you have enjoyed the reading and got something out of it. I got to get this. Oh my God. Get that out of here. Get that out of my face. Jesus. It's like when you go up, if you're a girl and you've ever gone to a bachelorette party. I hate those things. But they want to go to the men go-go dancers, and these guys come over and stick their junk in your face. It's like, get away from me. Dude, I don't like that. It's not a turn on at all. But anyways, Aquarius, I hope you have a great solar return. If you want to get on the... get in on any of that stuff that I have. 1 week only for the year ahead card reading, but there is the astrology report and there's other readings, so check it out. Happy birthday. Happy birthday one more time. Pisces. Last but not least, well, Neptune, your ruling planet, is leaving your sign. And, it's kind of a mixed bag, because you were really, really empowered then and everything, and that was cool. But, Neptune in your sign may have been just even a little bit too much Neptune, even for you, you know. So I think for a lot of Pisces, you know, it was a nice visit. Glad you got to touch, because it's more than one human lifetime, okay? Neptune is 200 years or something to go through the zodiac. So not everyone will have Neptune in their sign. And you, being your ruling planet, it was even stronger, you know. So it was nice to have that opportunity to meet that Neptune, meet with that Neptunian energy, you know, get to know them, that energy, work with that energy. But now it's time for them to go. It's almost like, you know, you go on vacation with people, or even a relative comes to visit, and, you know, you really want to hang out with them, and it was great. But then it's like, okay, now it's time to go. And so it's time for them to move on, and then next month Saturn will be gone. That's going to be a big relief for you. I'm not really sure how this Neptune leaving your sign will play out, because it hasn't happened in a couple hundred years. So time will tell. But overall, the vibe that I really get on it is sort of like a relief. It's just like, well, it was nice having you, but I just looked up, and it was on the timer, which won't be the same on your, what you're watching, but it was 11111, 5 ones in a row. It was 1:11 and 11 seconds into this portion of the recording. Okay, so let's look at the cards. We've got the 4 of Swords, the 6 of Swords, and the 10 of Wands. Yeah, well, that's that Saturn. I think this is that last blast of Saturn. Just, you know, one more. Got the Saturn energy. It's so heavy. You need some. Well, I don't want to influence the bottom cards. Let's get the 3 cards for the bottom, and then I'll say what I have to say. 5 of Cups, Page of Cups, and Queen of Pentacles. Okay. Well, this is what I wanted to say about these cards on the top here. You know, this 4 of Swords and 6 of Swords, and even the 10 of Wands. You've been through it. It's been overwhelming almost, I want to say, for many of you. It's been a lot to deal with, you know, and you're so sensitive and perceptual, you know, perceptive, and I just looked up and it was 11222222 all the way across. Okay, and stop looking at that. I was looking up to just make sure all the cards were on the, you know, in good view here. But, you know, you may need just a timeout. You may need a recuperation time here. If you can take some time off, I think it would be helpful to you. 6 of Swords is, you know, you're ready to leave whatever behind. You're ready. I don't know if this is so much the Neptune, although the 6 of Swords is a boat on the water. It might be more of the Saturn. You know, this might be this, because you have this month. This month ahead here is going to be the last blast of Saturn for 30 years. So it could be that. You've carried this heavy load. That feels Saturnian as well. You know, I would not be taking on any additional burdens, any additional work, any additional, you better learn how to say no to people. People want your help, and they want you to do this and that for them. You may need to just say, you know what, I just really need some time off, even if it's just for an afternoon, 4 hours, but maybe 4 days even if it's 4 to 6 days or something. Or just to lighten your load a little bit. Because even this, it feels like there's just a lot of heaviness over here. You know, and I never noticed this in this card either, but that looks like the tower over there. Before the tower, it's not exploded yet or anything. Well, there is a tower over there. You know, but it's almost like if you're going to keep trying to push, you'll be heading towards the tower. And don't beat yourself up because you can't get it all done, or that, you know, it seems that you're a little overwhelmed. We all get overwhelmed. We have to listen to that. We have to listen to our body and listen to our soul. And when we need a rest, we need a rest. Now, this Page of Cups is here. That's very good stuff. That's inspirational. That's a representation of you. It could even be you as a child. When I was a child, I caught a fleeting glimpse out of the corner of my eyes. Yeah, so when you were a child, all of us, when we were in our childlike wonder, you know, we maybe have a better grip on life than we do later on, honestly. We're not so polluted. We're not so tarnished. We're not so, you know, what do you call that? Well, you know what I mean. Influenced, you know, for good and for ill. We're not fully formed. We're still connected to spirit. We're still, you know, realizing what our soul path is. So it's advising to connect with that. But also there's a child on this card. There's a child here. This could be if you have children yourself, or maybe grandchildren, or maybe your nieces and nephews, or your best friend's kids, or something like that. Spending time around children might not be a bad idea, okay? Because it feels like they're saying, out of the mouths of babes. There's that aspect of it. You might get some spark, but I feel like just by being in their energy. Like I have a new granddaughter now. I've been spending time with her, which is awesome. And I come away feeling, you know, she's fresh from the other side. You know, she's fresh from spirit. And there is an energy about that. Or even, I don't know about this, but there are where you can go and hold preemie babies in the hospital. But that always felt to me sort of like energy vampires, you know. These people that are empty inside, sucking the life force out of these babies or something. You know, I don't know. But it's not meant to be that way, and you know, but there's something about this. Connecting with the childlike energy, being around actual children. Maybe you could volunteer to be, you know, work at a school part-time, you know, help out. I used to do that when my kids they went to the School of the Arts. Through elementary all the way through high school, they went to the School of the Arts, and I was always over there helping the art teachers and the music, mostly the art teachers, and the music teachers too a little bit, but mostly the art teachers. I was always, you know, helping them, and you know, just getting in that vibe or that spirit. I just feel like that's going to help you. Yes, there's demands on you. This Queen of Pentacles, I mean, if she didn't look so dang angry, doesn't she look like she's totally pissed off? You know, she just looks like she's totally pissed off over here. And that ring is like, it's almost like she's like, kiss my ring. The way that ring is standing out to me, it's just sort of like, she feels like a A1B, you know what I mean? Like just has a bad attitude, angry, and like Ebenezer Scrooge, you know, it's the bottom of the dollar. I don't care if you need, I'll work, I'll drain you dry, you know, I want that job, you know, whatever it is. You need to take this refresh. You need to refresh yourself, or you're never going to be any good. And I feel like too here, you could come back to work or come back with some great ideas that if you give yourself a little time of replenishment. That's basically what I want to say. And these green leaves and everything too. I know it's most places in the Northern Hemisphere, it's not green right now. It's, what am I hearing? Well, it don't snow here. It stays pretty green. I'm gonna make a lot of money and quit this crazy scene. Wish I had a river that I could fade away on. Yeah, so maybe you need to go fade away on the river there. That wouldn't be great for your Pisces thing too. So there's somebody, this person feels very demanding, let's put it that way. But it's not, I feel like also it's not just this person. I feel like your whole life, well, all of us, this time of year, you know, it's supposed to be peace on earth and everything, but man, it's just a stress. And it's just a ton of extra work that we all have to do, and all this stuff we have to get done, and this money for gifts, and all the food, and all the it's just on and on and on. And Pisces, you're so sensitive anyway, you know. You really need that quiet, peaceful time. You know, you really need that. It's okay to take it. Maybe you have to call in sick a couple days even or something, you know. Maybe she's going to be pissed. The boss will be pissed. But maybe this isn't even your boss. Maybe this is your spouse. I think for some of you, this might be your spouse. It's somebody that you have to answer to, or you feel you have to answer to, and maybe you really don't, you know. Well, I mean, eventually you do. Yeah, my guide said you have to pay the piper. Yeah, so eventually you'll have to pay the piper. But maybe you'll just, you need to replenish. That's the big message. If this doesn't resonate, check your rising and moon. But I feel like that's an important message. And get back to that place where you are, where you do feel. Look at the Page of Cups. She looks so replenished and happy and, you know, doing well. Excuse me. Ha! All right, let's get the animal totem for our Pisces friends for January. The swan, yeah. Well, the swan is about finding that beauty, you know. The swan, if you don't know the tale of the ugly duckling, the ugly duckling was made fun of by the other ducks because they looked different and they were different. It's because they weren't a duck. They weren't like everybody else. They were actually a beautiful swan, and they grew into be a beautiful swan. You know, maybe everybody else can push themselves to the brink of whatever, collapse here, but you can't, because you're more sensitive too, like I was saying earlier. And you glide on that water. You are the swan energy. You are stepping into the swan energy. You are finding that beauty and that grace of the swan energy. Graceful beauty, loyal partner and friend, recognizing the divine within us all, transformation, emergence of the true being, loving yourself at all stages of life. Yeah, that's what I get here. So well, you can't get everything done, or you didn't make the perfect Christmas, or somebody's bitching they didn't get the gift, your kids are bitching they didn't get the gift they want, or whatever. Cut yourself some slack. Love yourself at all stages of life. Take that time to honor yourself and honor your own magic that you're creating. Know that you are a little different than most people. You're not your everyday person here. You're the swan. Be the swan. Be the swan, Pisces. All right, let's get our Holy HAMSA. Holy HAMSA. Let's get the Holy HAMSA for Pisces. Freedom. Hey, maybe some of you could be leaving a job. If there's somebody that's really nasty like this and just working you to death and doesn't care, you might be leaving the job. I'm looking at these, they're Roman numerals, yes, but I got IVVIV. I mean, to me, that's my name, Vickieverlie. I'm double V's, you know, 5 letters front and back, IE, starting in V, ending in IE, you know. But for others, it could be something else. Hey, IV, I mean, that could be, you know, don't push yourself to the point where you need an IV, because you just run yourself dry there. But I think that IV could be the name. I think it's names or something for somebody out there. So if it resonates, definitely let me know in the comments. Leave a comment and let me know if that makes any sense or hits you somehow. Okay, freedom. Freedom, I won't let you down. All right, freedom, if I can get it to come into focus. If you want to pause the video, if you're on a device where you can zoom in and look, then go ahead and do so, because you could get some information there. Freedom, liberate, unshackle, redemption, breaker of chains, freedom of bondage. The chains of bondage are broken and you are free to fly. In some cases, this card could signify leaving a relationship or a job or any bad situation where you felt trapped or unhappy. You may have no more tears to cry or no more shits to give. I didn't put that in the book, but that's what it is. You may have reached your limit. Now you must summon your strength. That's what I'm saying. Gather your strength for the next leg of your journey. You must summon your strength for one last push towards the next leg of your journey. Though it may not be easy, there is no other choice. Break free of the fears and excuses that have held you back. See yourself for the untethered spirit that you truly are. That's that swan energy. And even untethered here, when I was talking about how children are so pure of heart and everything. Okay, let's go ahead and get lots of love. Whether it pertains to love, it says warm, but it almost looked like it says harm. Take it either way. Absolutely. And then lastly, the lots of Proverbs. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. Well, you know, that could be a thing. If somebody's working you to death here, or maybe they didn't give you your Christmas bonus and they want you to come in on holidays and do all this stuff, calling off sick, just, you know, you not being there, they could see how much, you know, what you do. You know, sometimes it could be absence makes the heart grow fonder, you know, in the traditional sense, but more so I feel like for some of you, it really feels like somebody's very demanding of your time and your energy. And maybe by backing off a couple days, they may be like, oh, the whole place fell apart without you, you know. They don't realize how much you really do, you know. So that voodoo that you do, what's that from? That's from something too. Anyway, so again, this is talking about rest and replenishment, but also you becoming the swan, you know. You're not the ugly duckling to be pushed around by her or anybody else, you know. The likes of her, my guides are saying. If you're tired and and you feel like you're getting sick even, because there's a bad flus going around that I didn't get the flu, I never do. My daughter was pressuring me to get it because she's got the new baby, and I said, I got the one shot she wanted me to get, but I said, I'm not getting that flu shot because I always get sick from it. But now they're saying that it was pretty much useless. Because flu is crazy numbers of flu in the U.S. anyway, and because the shot that they came up with this year, you know, it's a pot shot. It's just like whatever, you know. I take echinacea. If I feel anything coming on, I will rest, you know, and I'll take echinacea, zinc, golden seal, vitamin C, hot soup. I'm having hot soup today because I know my throat was going to be sore from talking so much, you know. So. Take care of yourself, Pisces. That's basically in a nutshell, right? Take care of yourself. And so that you can be what you set out to be in this incarnation when you started this journey, and that you can bloom and flourish fully into what you're shooting for. You know, the baby swan knew that it would be a duck swan someday, you know. When the soul or the spirit that incarnated into that baby swan, it knew it wasn't a duckling and didn't want to be a duckling. Had no intention of being a duckling, you know, so, or a duck, you know, so. This is you being free from others' expectations. This is free from you being, from programming or curating, yeah, the world that's been curated to you. And you stepping out, because you're not a duck, you know, you're a swan. You are fully a swan, Pisces, all right? All right, well, it's an interesting times we live in, huh? It could be tiring, but anyways, if you want to get into the year ahead, there is 1 week left if you haven't got it, but really that's going to be it. That's a wrap for this year. But there's other readings available, and I do have that year ahead astrology report, which is really informative and inexpensive. So thank you all for tuning in. I hope you have a great January and a great year ahead. I do have a year ahead sample reading on my channel here. I'll link to it. I hope you have a great one. Till next time.